It's black magic. There's some special power they have. They're worshiping the devil, all the same that everybody thinks. Another thing people will say is only weak-minded people could be hypnotized. I said, that's funny. Tell that to my NFL clients, my UFC clients, my Olympic clients, my Navy SEAL clients. The most successful people in the world are the easiest to do hypnosis. You know why? Because they understand how to follow instructions. And number two, they want to get results. So when you say, hey, go into hypnosis, they will go into hypnosis because they want the outcome.
I've so many questions. I just love to ask you this. Then you said it's led you to where you are now. Talk to us a little bit about, where is the business now and what are some of the lessons along the way?
Yeah. So now I have 4 hypnotherapists that work for me. I also have a team, a sales team as well, 4 people. We're actually adding on 2 more people here pretty soon. I just hired a COO, Chief Operating Officer, to run all the back end day-to-day stuff. And so our team is growing really, really fast. So essentially, I've worked with over 2,000 people on a one-on-one basis. That doesn't include like groups and everything else. But through that process, I just refined everything down to literally a science. And what I mean by that is we have a system where and I could take anybody who's passionate about doing this and I could teach them this exact process. And within a week, they can cause massive change in somebody else's life. And when I say that, I mean like taking somebody's like, I want to be a hypnotherapist. I want to learn how to do this. I want to help people change their lives. I can teach them very quickly to where in their first or second session with somebody, they will give them such a life-altering experience that person that they're working with will never be the same in a positive way. And so when I first started off in hypnotherapy, as many people do, I didn't really know like what was my niche, what was my thing, what did I want to do? So, I tried quit smoking and weight loss and addiction and anxiety, depression, all these different things. And after doing that, I just realized that the people that I love to work with the most are business owners and salespeople, simply because I was a business owner and a salesperson for a really long time. And actually, before I got into insurance, I sold marijuana. And this is back in the days when it was illegal. So I used to sell it, grow it, the whole thing. And then I decided, hey, let's take the professional route. I'm tired of like worrying about the cops all the time. So from 16 years old, I've always been an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? So I decided these are the people I want to work with. I want to work with people who have problems, but they're coming to me because they want to excel, not necessarily because they're depressed and they aren't having they want to feel better. It's more of like, hey, I want tangible results. I want to come to somebody and their income doubles, triples, quadruples, 5Xs, 20Xs, whatever the number is. That's what I love helping people do, because let's be honest, money solves most problems. And so if you can help people solve that problem, that you can help afford them an amazing life. So that's what I love to do. That's what I'm the most passionate about.
When you hear the word hypnotist, some people have the stigma attached to it, including myself. I've not had a successful hypnosis session. I've not hired Dom yet, team. Maybe that's the learning lesson here. But the point is that there might be this block that people might have in the mind about hypnotism. So if there's someone listening who's heard it and they're like, oh man, I don't know if I can hear hypnotist, then what might you say to someone who might be blocked just the idea of hypnotist?
It's black magic. There's some special power they have. They're worshiping the devil, all the same that everybody thinks, or I can't be hypnotized, everything. And what it is all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, which means that we all go in and out of hypnotic states all of the time, many times throughout the day. So if you've ever caught yourself driving down the freeway and suddenly you arrive at wherever you're going and you're like, oh shit, I don't remember the drive. Like it just boom, you're there, right? You ever had that happen? Well, what happened there? You went into a state of hypnosis. Now you were conscious, you were aware, you were awake, but you went into that trance-like state where you lose track of time. There's a little amnesia, and that's all hypnosis is. Now, the difference is between that and working with a professional is that we're purposely and intentionally putting you in hypnosis for a reason, right? We want to find out what blocks you have, what fears, what limiting beliefs, so we can remove them so you can have more success in your life. So that's number one. Number two, most people associate hypnosis and hypnotists with stage hypnotists, which, by the way, all that stuff you see on movies or on like YouTube of people doing a stage show, making people act funny. That's all real. And as a matter of fact, before I became a hypnotist, one of the first things I did when I moved to Las Vegas is I went to a hypnosis show because I had my doubts. And, I'm sitting there and you're like 30, 40, 50 feet away from the stage. And he brings all these people up, he hypnotizes them. And it's like, oh, these people are not acting. They're actually, something's going on here. They're in some type of like trance or whatever. And at the time I was like, oh, this is mind control. It's not. What it is that there's a certain amount of people and there's certain types of people who are willing to go up on stage and go through a stage hypnosis show. Okay. There's certain people that aren't. And for a long time, I was one of those people, even after I became a hypnotist, I'm like, you'll never catch me up on stage. Hell no, I'm not going to do that. Now I'll be the goofiest one up there just because it's fun, but, typically when you see people at a stage show, what happens is the hypnotist will bring up 30, 40 people. He does his little thing. And then there's only about 8, 9, 10 people that stay. And those 8, 9, 10 people that stay are just more open and willing in that moment to go through the hypnosis process. So it's like they're playing along, but they're not, but they are. So the way I always describe it to people is, imagine you're a little nervous to speak to people at a party, right? What do you do to get rid of nerves? I don't drink, but most people drink, right? And what happens after you have 2, 3 drinks? Well, suddenly you're more open, you're more loose, you're not caring so much about what everybody's thinking. And that's the same feeling that hypnosis gives you when you're in those stage shows. You might come in like, ooh, I don't know, I'm a little bit okay, let me go up there. And once you relax your mind, you relax your body, your conscious mind kind of checks out. It gives you that same sort of like, all right, I don't care anymore. Let me just have a good time. So everybody could be hypnotized. Look, another thing people will say is only weak-minded people could be hypnotized. I said, that's funny. Tell that to my NFL clients, my UFC clients, my Olympic clients, my Navy SEAL clients. The most successful people in the world are the easiest to do hypnosis. You know why? Because they understand how to follow instructions. And number 2, they want to get results. So when you say, hey, go into hypnosis, they will go into hypnosis because they want the outcome. So that's what I'll say to people who maybe don't know what it is or how it works or whatever.